September 24th, 2007. This is Diehard Gamer Radio, episode 33.
You are approaching the target of attack. Your mission starts now. Are you ready? The countdown begins. 3, 2, 1, go!
You are listening to Diehard Gamer Radio, the source for off-mainstream video game news and topics. And now, your hosts, Murdock, Brian, John, and Steve.
Just a couple more shots.
Well, welcome back to Diehard Gamer Radio. As always, I am Murdock, and with me is John and Brian.
This just in.
And Steve is out today because of...
pending sex change.
Yes.
More
Steve,
like pent-up sex change.
So, Steve, we hope the operation goes well.
Successfully.
And speaking
that too.
And speaking about operations, our good friend Brian has come back from his surgery. And how did that go out, Brian?
He's still got all his limbs.
I'm no longer herniated.
Ooh. We will have pictures on the website later. And we have our special guest.
When the website comes back.
And today we have a special guest. We have a longtime listener, first-time speaker upper
Poster
on podcast
caller.
thingy. Say hello to our good friend Kiken.
Hello. Hi.
Kiken is joining us through the magic of the interweb known as Skype.
To Intertrons. Sometimes, though, the tubes get full of things like, chips or horses, and he might drop.
So,
Or interpoop.
this podcast will be heavily edited. Maybe. Of course now Spike will work. Skype?
Skype.
Yeah, Skype will work. Yeah. Spike will work perfectly because he's on the Bebop.
I'm
I'm sure there is a
Spike
Spike
30
program
minutes,
out there.
and we'll drop spontaneously right in the middle of a conversation.
So we're going to go straight to our news bits. And our first gaming news, TurboGrafx CD games coming to the Virtual Console. And that's CD2.
Technically, it's both CD-ROM, CD-ROM-ROM, and Super CD-ROM.
Nice.
It's everything except arcade.
Cool.
That's quite a download. That'll be worth
Well, I'm
the
imagining... yeah, but you got to imagine that they're going to compress the audio. I would figure that any digital audio tracks will be compressed to some smaller format like MP3. I doubt they're going to upload 500 megabyte CD because it has like 16 tracks of...
Oh, yeah. It'll definitely be cut to some extent, but hopefully they keep the bulk of the gameplay and everything else in there.
Have they actually announced a particular game yet, or are they just saying they're going to?
I didn't see any announcements for what they specifically said they were going to release. Of course, everybody, jizzes the wad and says, OMG, Rondo!
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this was to be expected because we already knew that they had TurboGrafx full support from the get-go. That was one of their big selling points back in the day. Came out this time last year.
Well, I mean, they had hinted at this before, but again, with the whole thing of the Wii doesn't exactly have a huge amount of internal drive space to store games.
Yeah.
So it really comes down to how well they can compress that data.
I still don't totally trust that either. I still throw in my little 2D SD gig card, or 2D gig card and 2 gig SD card rather, and I back up all the games I downloaded the Virtual Console just in case something goes wrong.
Can't you download them again if they disappear?
I don't know how that works. I don't know if it's like with Xbox Live where you
No, it's not like Xbox Live Arcade.
Well, I mean, I don't know
Assuming
what their
Nintendo
policy
doesn't
is that they
something,
lose
get
something.
swallowed up.
Yeah, we don't know how that works, so I'm just a little more cautious.
Okay. So next up, Chinese online gamer dies after 3-day stint.
This is
Moral
going
of the
like
story, eat something.
Yeah, this is going right along with this today. 3 more killed in Afghanistan. It's like how many died in China to this day?
Well, yeah, but in Afghanistan we have a
Can we put this one right next to Jack Thompson attempting to sue somebody again?
Yeah, it's another one of those daily Darwinisms, unfortunately.
Well, he had all that Chinese food to eat. Oh, okay.
That's something we should just add to the website is daily Darwinism.
Was he like your Game Pro game tip?
Die due to video gaming.
Oh yeah, but the Jack Thompson thing would be hilarious.
Well, some kid killed himself because
Jack Thompson dies playing Bioshock.
Oh, that would be classic.
Kid kills himself for playing Daikatana. I could see that. So, next up, Bangayo Spirits announced.
Woo! That's all I gotta say is woo!
I gotta wonder. I haven't seen screenshots from this yet, and I don't even remember if Treasure actually released anything. It's their page was doing this countdown, and then it spontaneously reset by a day when the day actually arrived.
Oh.
I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, it's like something set another day again.
If you go to
they released the announcement, like they broke it early, a couple of hours early, but the only thing I've seen physically is just the title logo thing. I haven't actually seen screenshots from this.
Check for my post, because I posted a thing on it just a couple days ago. I got video of it off of GameSpot in motion, and you can see it in action, and even the 2-player, and it actually looks
because I wondered how big the sprite was going to be, because you think about it on a television. On my 21-inch television, Bangayo is less than an inch tall.
They're really small.
They actually did increase the sprite size, and the level size is actually decreased to magnify the sprite itself. So they do show up decently well, and you got to be able, you can only see it on that one screen, so you got to be able to do everything with your.
Yeah, I have to wonder how the control's going to work for it too, because
somehow it works specifically with the stylus, and that's how.
Well, I was going to say you could either use the stylus to aim, or you can just do it like the alternate Dreamcast mode, which is pad is to move, and then the buttons are, since they're set up in a cross formation anyway. Then what is
like
it? Y is up, X is left,
or something.
B is down, A is right, or whatever, and then hold two of them for a combination.
Yeah,
as annoying as that is.
Like typical Robotron 2084.
Well, either that, or it would be nice if they at least did like a just hold L or R to rotate your guy around. If they actually did that as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of excited because they're finding new and neater uses for the stylus now. I saw the demo they did for Ninja Gaiden on the DS, and it actually looked kind of unique. And they described how they did all the motions on there with the stylus, and it looked like it flowed pretty well once you memorized the motions, and there was only like 4 or 5 of them to memorize, so I'm kind of excited about these new uses they're finding for it. It might actually prove to be interesting and feasible.
So, next up, Radio Shack to carry video games.
Radio Shack is still around?
Yeah.
Are they relevant? I'm not sure.
They said on the post that they sell games on their website, and I'm like, they have a website?
So, they've apparently moved.
Yeah, I remember when they actually used to sell like electronics.
Yeah, I still got a pile of old electronic components. That's where I got my soldering iron from back in the day.
I bought a switch box there like 6 years ago. The little 4 push buttons.
That's the stuff now that they push all the way to the back.
Yeah, because we have to make room for our video games.
We used to have a really cool Radio Shack out here that actually had all this electronic kit stuff that I never saw anywhere else. That shut down like 5 years ago, and I figured that was just the start of their long slide to irrelevance.
For all you know, they were probably the warehouse for all the shit nobody else, no other Radio Shack could sell, and it ended up there, and it made them the coolest one of all.
Seriously, why would you go to Radio Shack these days to buy a $40 cable that you could buy off Amazon for $5?
Yeah, and be probably twice the quality.
Half the crap that you could buy there. I mean, most people, they're only just going to go out looking for video or audio cable equipment, and you can buy that anywhere.
Yeah, it's become pretty much mainstream, the stuff you're looking for the most part. If you're looking for, I've got to go there this week and get some random small connectors to save me from having to solder something.
And you'll be lucky if they're there.
Yeah, it's probably true, too.
Well, it's nice that they're at least carrying something that's, not telephone reseller related.
Well, I think this is more a matter of this will help us stay in business.
They're hoping. Yeah. It is kind of hilarious. They're getting into PC games now.
Yeah.
But, are they going to release it on a Tandy?
Better late than never.
You can use
programs
one of the
for the
TI-82 to send stuff back and forth.
Next up, Ikaruga, Res HD, and every Extend Extra announced for Xbox Live Arcade. And I also need to add, was it Trigger Hearts, Excelsior?
Excellica.
And
Omega
what's it?
5.
Which
Omega
one?
5 is a
Okay,
brand
Omega
new
5.
shoot 'em up that's going to be coming out. I think
Who
it's
was that from?
November.
Was that Capcom? Or
No,
it was like a pretty big name, wasn't
the
it?
same guys that did Rez, I think.
Was it?
UGA technically disbanded. They were reorganized and combined with half of them ended up, I think, in the new Sonic team.
Okay,
Because Sonic Team are no longer Sonic Team anymore. They're constructed of people from UGA, Smilebit, and like 3 other divisions of Sega.
Okay.
Smilebit.
Yeah. Brings back memories.
So the notes I have on this one is why release games that only appeal to Japanese audiences on Xbox Live Arcade? It's not Madden. Why are they releasing it?
Well, actually, there was, at least on a couple of the different forums that I've hung out, not just Shmups, but a few of the other ones, there actually was an explosion of interest for it because it's cheap.
If
10
you didn't pick
$10
up Ikaruga and Rez before, it's definitely a
right, but
hit
they're
to
like,
the pocketbook now.
OMG, now I can pick it up and there's leaderboards and all this bullshit.
Yeah.
But leaderboards are actually interesting. Definitely can get that competitive spirit going.
I'm curious,
now-
too, to see how Rez is going to look
Now they'll
at
see how much
HD.
better the Japanese are than everybody else.
Yeah.
I don't think the leaderboards in Xbox Live are international. I think that's by region, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think it's connected because I've never seen
Okay.
anything international.
That might just be that there's only 3,000 Japanese Xboxes out there, so we
Yeah.
never had the chance.
The leaderboards
to see
consist
if that
of
was
like
the
12
case.
people at any one time.
Well,
That's
I
it.
think I found like Habano trying to play Senko no Ron online.
Not hard to be on a leaderboard that has like zeros on it.
Yeah, it's
Not hard to get a high
it's
score.
like getting
on
to
an empty
the
scoreboard.
you're the first one on the mountain to point your flag, and that's woohoo! And there's I guess nobody else coming.
So, Res HD. Get
Right.
your girlfriend to sit on trans vibrator. Achievement unlocked.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to come out with that accessory again.
Well, the controller already has Rumble. It's
Yeah. Although actually, the review that I read for that
Yeah.
was talking about how they'd integrated the Rumble into the controller, and they actually liked it better than the Trans Vibrator.
well, the
Integration
trans
always is
vibrator
better.
it was just something that you sat down on like a table next to you.
Yeah.
It was supposed to just
And
give ambiance feeling.
It did actually thump pretty good.
Yeah. You stuck that in the
No,
uvula?
have you ever seen what it looks like?
Yeah.
It's like this little fluid thing that you
Yeah.
just sat down on the table next to you.
I think Murdock has one, and I have one.
Actually,
'Cause
yeah,
we
Murdock's
like to
actually
buy,
got mine because I traded him for the
Oh,
other
okay.
version.
Because we like to buy random useless crap that's only good for 3 games ever.
2 games.
2 games? I thought it was 3.
No, I think it's 2
this
because if
yard
you think
fight.
about our favorite game on the
Virtual
Xbox.
On.
No, that one.
Well, that was Dreamcast, but that was like
No,
the other one that always comes to mind for me. That was Steel Battalion.
Steel Battalion. That was like good
Yeah.
for 2 games.
Steel
so.
Battalion.
Well,
Wow.
it was really good for like the single player and multiplayer of one game.
Yeah.
It just made you buy them separate.
Yeah, I think it's Space Channel 5 Part 2 is the other game that uses the trans vibrator.
There was
Yeah.
one other one too. I thought it was like Disaster Report or something weird like that. I remember there was 3 of them.
And the twin sticks are actually good for more than
strange
just
that would actually make a lot of sense.
Well, let's move on. Konami has a contest for Contra. Create your own character, and it might show up in Contra
nifty.
as a hidden
The
character.
Contra 4 for DS, right?
Yes.
Or at least that's the assumption. Since, what other Contras are they making right now?
Can't be that hard to create a little 2mm pixel.
Well, you don't have to actually create
Yeah.
the pixel. You just draw the character. I'm sure they will pixelize it for you.
Oh, okay.
So we
They'll
could
just
get
do a
Master
sprite
Onion
swap.
in Contra then?
One of the existing characters.
This is an interesting contest.
Like,
at
look,
least.
it's you.
I'm in the game.
Well,
I don't know.
I would just design some gothic Lolita girl and throw her into Contra. So
I'd have to do like a little Weird Al. Go apropos with some of his older works.
any ideas of what you would design, John?
I just can't get that excited about Contra.
Yeah, we'll get excited for you.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Next up, play Halo 3, get banned, and this was what a story.
Or play it
now,
early, actually.
Well, it was a story, and then they're saying no, it's not true, and
Well, this is two different things that kind of got grouped together because there's some of the stores that broke street date, but there's also was this group of people that had a stolen copy of Halo 3 way early, and they got banned until 2099. Because there was just no way it could happen. So Microsoft has said if you have a legitimate store-bought copy, even if they sold it early, they're not going to screw up your
Well, they can't
Xbox
penalize
Live account.
the individual buyer for what the store did. I mean, that's not fair. So that's understandable. I think that's why they came out specifically and put out the press release saying we're not going to ban you for playing it early. We just would like you to wait, but that's okay.
Well, and also the first store that did that, they came out, they said it was an honest mistake. They stopped it. They were going to rectify the problem. Microsoft said, yeah, we believe them. But anybody else who tries to pull this shit,
you will be banned from selling our games until 2099.
You do know that Microsoft actually has goons, right?
msgoons.com.
That's probably a real URL.
Yeah.
well, you know, what's Blackwater going to do now that they're getting kicked out in Iraq?
Oh, man.
Way to stay current there, John.
Politics.
Next up, and this was going to be just for Steve, but since Steve's not here, we're going to do it without him. So we'll have no musical commentary. The Guitar Hero 3-track list leaked, but the only reason I mentioned it was for Steve, but Steve's not here.
I'm still excited about it.
Yeah, you could try and sing some of them here. It'd be easier if Steve was here, I admit. He gets more excited about that.
I'm surprised to see some of these all have also been announced for, well, not announced, but I've already seen them played for Rock Band.
This also hasn't been verified.
Yes.
It's entirely possible this is somebody who picked some songs they like and put the list out.
It was strange,
well,
too.
whoever picked this list has like some really lousy tasting.
Like they show Mountain does Mississippi Queen, and I saw an actual pre-E3 press demo where they had the press come in and try Rock Band, and they were singing the song on there. And for some mysterious reason, about an hour later on Kotaku, they'd pulled the video and the article, and it was, I don't know what happened there, but it looked really good.
So, sorry, Steve.
Either way, I'm still a little more excited about Rock Band, honestly.
Yeah. Here's to hoping I'll be able to afford it.
The only thing I'm really excited about is that...
And the 800 accessories there.
Yeah.
Well, especially now that we know you need like maybe 2 guitars, maybe 2 band sets.
Didn't they say something about the fact that the existing guitars for Guitar Hero would work with Rock Band? I thought they'd said something. They'd released something official about that, saying that they were.
No, they
probably depends on which version of Rock Band you get too.
Yeah, but they probably won't do that. They want you to spend all their money with them.
But they're trying to be compatible about it, and it'll still work out with Rock Band because they're selling like other stuff that you can't get.
Yeah, it would be more to their advantage, I would think, to actually be compatible because there's already that installed user base that's got this equipment, and if all they got to do is go buy the game, that's going to make it easier for them to buy the game.
Sell more games.
Yeah.
Well,
and their guitar is cooler too, so people who get excited about it, they might be able to get them to upgrade later.
Well, I just want them to come out with attachments for like groupies and LSD and broken
syphilis.
bottles you can yes, a syphilis add-on.
Uh-huh.
Does that have vibration? How does that work?
Is this the groupie to-go kit? You open it up and it's got like loose wet condoms and... Oh, wait, no, they didn't use condoms. What am I thinking?
You want to chime in on any of this, Kiken?
Actually,
that kind of puts a different spin on rhythm during that, doesn't it?
The opinions of John.
No, I don't. I mean, if they do make at least the guitar compatible. Actually, that's a very smart move on their behalf.
But yeah, you're just basically saying what we were saying too. That if it's going to benefit them to make it compatible, and I think everybody would want that. I mean, in the end, it just sells more games.
It's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
All right.
And I figure they can probably get the PS2 guitars to work on both the PS2 version and the PS3 version. The Guitar Hero 2 bundle on the 360 has sold a bazillion copies, so they can probably work with that.
It's just more software sales.
I think they did say something about their guitar was supposed to be wired, though, for the Rock Band.
For the 360.
For the 360
Wireless
specifically,
on the PS3.
All right.
And I think on the PS2 as well. I'm
Okay.
not positive.
Well, let's move on here because we've got a lot of stuff to go through. Next up, DualShock 3 controller announced for PS3.
What, again? How many times can they announce this damn
And
thing?
pigs fly.
So it's not the 6-axis 2, it's the DualShock 3.
That makes
Well, Seer King and
6-axis 2 to come 6 months later.
he's probably not. Are you kidding, or is it? Well, knowing Sony, they probably will do something odd like that.
yeah, they still
So-
got one whole foot to stick in their mouth. So
Do you guys remember what it was
vibration.
like to buy like
Well,
the,
it's actually-
the original DualShock upgrade? How did that feel like?
Honestly, I didn't upgrade the first DualShock for a while. Those things were out for eons before I ended up buying one.
I think I got one fairly close to when they came out, but it was only for the functionality. There was some purpose it served at the time, but I don't remember being excited.
Well, it was the big
about
game
it.
everybody wanted to use it with was Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, I think that's what it was because that's what it was designed for.
Was that the first one that had like analog support? or-
No, wasn't it?
Well,
like-
it was the first
Well-
game where they made a big deal out of it.
Yeah, no, you're right, because I read an article that said they actually designed that controller for Gran Turismo. That was the whole purpose of it was supposed to be super useful for that game, so that was one of the reasons they came out with it, but it ended up being even better for Metal Gear Solid, so who knows?
So they got a game that's going to push people to want their Rumble back?
Yeah, it's Metal
Gear
Gear
Solid
Solid
4.
4. Yeah. Whoa, boy, that's a trip from the past. That's
So what do you think the odds are they're actually going to bundle these things in with new PS3s, or they're just going to keep shipping out the old stock of 6-axis?
No. It's now they're just going to charge us $50 for another controller.
yeah. Yeah, that's Sony. They got to make their money somewhere, and they've lost so much now. They're actually behind the ball.
Hopefully, the redesign of the console does not look like a piece of shit like the first one does.
Yeah, I got to say, I'm kind of surprised. This is the first time ever that somebody's made a bigger console than Microsoft.
Well,
Which-
but on the other hand, they made it the right shape. So if you have a 360 and a PS3, you can kind of interlock.
Yeah, they
them
actually.
together.
They'll still only take up about half the space. Yeah, that's if they don't both burn up from sharing heat.
So how many BTUs of heat would that put it? About?
It's got to be like 25 between the two of them. Oh my God! Yeah,
It'd probably be enough to cook an egg.
just put it right in front of your AC unit.
So, next up, by the way, Diehard Gamer Radio does not condone or recommend that you cook eggs on your video game system.
But God, it's funny.
I'm sure there's a video of that somewhere.
It may void your warranty, however.
Well,
And yes, there is video of that on YouTube.
Yeah, you'll find it right after the guy that actually blends controllers and things. And
Well, it blend. That's a really cheery intro song for that.
so next up, Metal Slug 7 announced for Nintendo DS. I would have a comment
Every
here about
screenshot I've seen has like 90 plus lives.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
I was like, wait a minute, Rest 89? Why?
I think the thing to be happy about is that it's not Metal Slug brain training.
No, but it's basically Metal Slug
If somebody
6
tossed a
10.
grenade, what would you do?
How many green grenades
Throw all
are there?
10, die, come back in, throw another 10.
Well, it's kind of sad to see that this series has dropped. And I hate to say so low because I do like portables, but it's dropped to this point. But on the other hand, they freely admitted the only reason they're doing this is because there's so many DSs out there. It's a guaranteed sale. They will make money off of this, where they can't guarantee it on every other system. So
Well, but that's pretty much all SNKP do. Though.
yeah.
Let's take SNK's really profitable IPs, and then let's squeeze the shit out of them.
I think Metal Slug Anthology getting ported to every system ever made was definitely an indication of that one.
Hey, it didn't come out on the 2600.
Yet.
I didn't get a Dreamcast copy.
Yeah, it was Dreamcast port now.
That probably would have looked better than most of them.
So,
Well, sadly, you have the whole thing with the Wii version having stupid controls. The PS2 version has input lag, and the PSP version has,
Loading.
like 3-hour load times?
Yeah, I actually went out and bought a Wavebird because I bought the Wii version, and the Wavebird's the only one that really works well with it. It's kind of sad. I should not have to shake my Wiimote to throw a fucking grenade. I swear to God, that's the
Well,
stupidest thing.
Try that one where you get to hold the Wiimote like vertically, like a joystick.
Oh no, I couldn't even. I saw that and was like, yeah, whatever. What kind of crack were they on when they did this?
On the plus side, it'll come out on the Virtual Console and probably Xbox Live Arcade, the PS3 store.
Well,
here.
MS3 was just announced for XBLA.
Yeah.
That one I've seen that they did announce.
Yeah,
And I've seen
SNK's finally
plastic
getting their
commercials.
ways into Xbox Live now. That was like the last frontier for them.
Well,
and
you got to
they
figure
did,
they already released it on the Xbox, so it's kind of like, hey, why not? We'll make it a download.
Yeah, well, because they did what? 3,
Is that
4,
even
and
backwards
5?
compatible?
I know that. Yeah, I think they did do 3, 4, and 5 on there.
I don't remember if those discs. I don't know if that ever showed up on the BC list. I should try it sometime.
Yeah, because it was 3. They released 3 by itself, and then they released 4 and 5 later.
Yeah, on one disc.
Okay.
That's right. Okay.
So Metal Slug 7 with your DS Slug coming soon, eventually. May or may not use the stylus.
That's
Well, the bottom screen is just a map.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He's right. I did read that. The bottom is just some useless map, basically, that unfolds
it's
as you
just
go
a map.
along.
Just so that they can turn the bottom screen on, basically.
Yeah, so they can waste your battery.
Yeah. It's, thank you. We get to waste more life.
Okay. So
Brilliant.
They could have put a jungling monkey there. Moving on. Speaking about SNK, Doki Doki Maho Shimpan 2 announced, also known as the
Witch Hunter or Witch?
no the witch
Witch
touching
touching,
game.
yeah.
Well, the first one apparently sold like hotcakes, so they'd be stupid not to make a sequel.
It's the only thing they got going for them right now that's original.
Although I do think
Yes,
this is the
exactly.
game that you can use to prove that there's something wrong
That-
with Japan. Just tell people about this game.
That's all it takes.
There's
Point
nothing
them
wrong
towards
with
the PC section in any Japanese store.
Well,
Yeah, that too.
but,
That and the nice little gel titty mouse pads they have too of your favorite character. Those are definitely a riot.
Oh, Japan is perfectly normal.
Alrighty.
So, next up, SNK Playmore announces 2 new arcade fighting games, both of which will have a very hard final boss that no one will be able to beat.
I'm hearing the gameplays. This is was it Sengoku Basara?
No, it's
No, that's Capcom.
Oh, you're right.
Samurai Spirit Sen and KOF Maximum Impact Regulation.
No. What was
A2.
the?
so we put new in quotation marks here.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, Sen is their attempt at Soul Calibur,
Yeah, okay.
technically.
So it's going to be full 3D and weapon-based
Yeah,
fighting?
it's a full 3D Samurai Shodown game.
Okay.
Well, there's
Hopefully much
definitely-
better than the one that came out on the Neo 60.
Yeah, just gonna point that one out. That they definitely failed the first time, but if they can get KOF to
And
look
the
as good
character
as it
models
does on there,
okay.
yeah. Now is probably a better time than ever to get 3D modeling to work for this game.
all I care about is a 3D Iroha. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thought I'd
Well, they confirmed 3D Charlotte is in it, so everybody was like, "Oh, the poking bitch is back."
I'll take Mai anyway and get her.
Well, Mai's not in Samurai Shodown.
Yeah, I'm kind of leading into a hint. It's like maybe they should add that in too.
Yeah.
The KOFs they did in 3D where I think it was Maximum Impact was actually fairly good. I enjoyed that. I think it was
Didn't they do 2 of those?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they
I think
released
there's
Maximum Impact 2 over here as King of Fighters 2006.
Yeah.
So, moving on. Our next topic, Cooking Mama 2 and Space Invaders Extreme announced from Taito.
Space Invaders is like the title that will never die. It'll just be...
Yeah, but you remember that crap-ass Space Invaders they came out with? It was like the 3D one where you kind of went down alleys and shot stuff.
What?
Yeah.
That was pretty
Are
stupid.
you making this game up?
No, that was a desperate attempt to...
I wish I was making it up.
there's been some horrid...
That was their attempt to cash in on Space Invaders.
Ah.
new dire lows.
I suppose Cooking Mama 2, all new recipes. Once again, takes half an hour to beat. Moving on.
SNK Playmore announces Sunsoft Collection for PS2. This includes Galaxy Fight and Waka Waka 7.
Galaxy Fight. Oh my god. Man, they're desperate.
But does not include Astra Superstars.
Jeez.
Which is kind of sad because that's the best one out of the series. I mean, that's a really, as fighting games go, that's actually far more interesting.
I'm definitely going to get Waku Waku 7 eventually on my Neo Geo MVS, but till then, this may be fun.
So, next up, we have Mistwalker announces Xbox 360 RPG Lost Odyssey, and it will be on 4 DVDs.
Good God.
Why didn't they just put it out on the PS3? And how much of that will be cutscenes?
There's 50 hours of gameplay between 4 DVDs. Figure it out.
Jesus.
That's a lot of cutscene.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Next up, Sony announcing 40 gigabyte PS3.
Well, the rumor is that Sony might announce 40
Well,
gigabyte PS3s.
Wait a minute. This is like Deja Sony.
How many gigabytes?
So what do they plan on charging for this one?
A hojillion
Too
dollars.
much.
Hey,
How much would you pay for this one? Wait a minute, there's more. We're going to screw you while you play it.
It's hard to put too much faith in this one because I keep seeing this rumor and they keep talking about different things that they might be taking out of features for it, that they might be going back to like the old restricted feature set that didn't have like wireless networking or the memory card reader. What point is there in doing that and having to set up multiple manufacturing lines and everything?
Especially after you've already had it. It's like, you can't go back.
Yeah. Plus, 40 gigabyte PS3. I mean, how much is that really going to hold? I mean, it's going to hold like, what?
Internalizing their hard drives is one of the stupidest things they could have done.
Well, but they made it easy for people. You can just buy any hard drive and put it in there. So the size of the hard drive isn't a big issue. It's just also that the hard drive isn't a big enough piece of the cost to actually save them any real money on the thing.
Mm.
So, they tried to do the whole tiered thing. They backed away from it because it didn't work out. I don't know.
I think doing a tiered thing in the first place was just stupid. You should all make it one standard
Well,
size hard
Sony
drive.
is not meant... Does not,
Microsoft
they don't
picked up on
know.
that pretty quick.
They've never been known to do smart things.
At least Microsoft said, okay, here's one without a hard drive, here's one with a hard drive, and you can buy the hard drive separate. So, boom, there you go.
But
that
no
covers
one,
all
no one
bases.
bought it without a hard drive.
The difference was also there was that with the Sony, with the PlayStation 3, every system had a hard drive. So that actually made life easier on the developers.
So, but not that any Microsoft developers were, programming stuff that didn't require the hard drive, right?
Well, no, every game that they've brought out except for, I believe,
Final Fantasy 11.
And maybe PSU. I forget if that one needed it or not.
All right.
Wasn't there something with Gran Turismo, too?
Not on Microsoft.
Oh, right. Sorry, I'm thinking of PS3.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's why they've done those news things recently that Microsoft is going to start allowing some of the game developers to put requires hard drive as a sticker on their boxes.
Ah.
Chinese MMORPG bans male players who play as females.
Well, I'm fucked.
Oh, you kidding me?
I always play as females in in any RPG type thing because...
Yeah, but you're not Chinese.
I do that because I don't want to stare at a man's ass for 100 hours.
What their amazing protection system here is you have to have a picture of yourself.
You know how many Chinese girls there are? Chinese women there are? Like 3.
So you have to hold up a video of like a talking woman head to your little webcam. I mean, the quality's so crap.
No, just face your cam at your wife or girlfriend sitting on the other couch and give her a controller.
Wear a wig.
What is the deal behind this anyways? Why is this such a big issue?
Maybe they want women actually playing female characters. Who knows?
But it doesn't go the other way around. Women can play as men, no problem. They have like a thriving online, phone sex business they don't want cut into here or something?
KOF 98 Ultimate Match announced for PS2 and Wii.
Yes, with a whole billion characters.
And that's
Yeah, it's supposed to be like 60 plus, I think, is what I've read.
my God.
According to the notes I have, it is 64 playable characters. Half of them named Orochi. No.
This might actually give me an excuse to buy that joystick for the Wii finally.
There's
Well,
a
hey, if it's who the fuck is it? Hori.
Yeah.
All of their sticks are good quality.
Hori, yeah, they're awesome for modding too after the fact. So I've got to say I'm pretty impressed with their stuff overall. I love their Ace Combat 4 joystick setup too. I thought that was pretty well made.
Mm.
I have to put in a good word for for those Pelican joysticks they did. Those real arcade ones. I was really pleased with that.
Yeah.
A listener's note here, Skype decided to blow up. So
Skype sucks!
We have the new improved robot Kiken.
Isn't that a show on Cartoon Network?
Via the amazing Sprint Network.
Yes, no more heroes getting published by Ubisoft in America. Yay,
So
Ubisoft.
We should be clear that this is from the same Suda51 who did Killer 7, so guaranteed to be fucking weird.
And it looks really cool. I mean, I'm excited about it. I'll probably pick it up.
And it does look like the game was put together as an excuse to do a lightsaber game before LucasArts got around to doing one.
Yeah. Nice cartoony effects.
Yeah.
Either that or you got to do it before somebody makes, the next Gundam game.
So, I still can't believe they put out that Dynasty Warriors Gundam game. I mean, it's like two derivative franchises that have gone on for too long and put them in one package.
That makes perfect sense together from a retail standpoint.
Yeah, they're trying to outdo Final Fantasy and was squeezing every possible Gundam game out there out again.
So, no more Gundams being published, right?
Wrong. There's already a new Gundam versus Gundam coming out.
I do wonder, though, with No More Heroes, they keep promising that it's actually going to be like one-to-one movement with the Wiimote, and I just don't see how that can actually work.
That'll look like a seizure in replays. I'll tell you that right now. That'll be really interesting to follow. That'll be worse than shaky cam.
Just watch the thing wobbling all over. But I mean, also, it's like your sword contacts another sword in the game, but you're still waving your remote around. I just don't see how that's going to work well.
How do you get sword feedback?
Yeah.
I would guess the only way they can do it is that the damn thing will buzz.
Yeah, it'll vibrate like a mother.
Make sure you have
If it can attempt to shake your arm off, they've got the right flow there. It'll probably drain the shit out of the batteries.
Yeah, probably.
Probably come with a new warning for nobody under 6 years old can play it because it may dislodge or dislocate small bones.
Play no longer than half an hour, or you're going to get massive repetitive stress injuries.
It'll just come with a bottle of super glue, so you can glue the wrist strap on.
Yeah.
for those people who've been bathing in Astroglide all this time for playing with the Wii.
There was a hilarious spoof commercial that somebody put on YouTube. There's two guys sitting on the couch. One goes, "Yeah, with this new console, you just move the controller like you normally would." They're playing baseball. He's like,
"It's not a spoof controller. It's actually a commercial on live TV now."
Yeah, and the guy goes ahead and picks it up and just throws it right into the television.
Yeah, he was a pitcher.
Beautiful moment.
Like every other Wii owner has done.
Yeah.
And the TV breaks, cracks, falls off the wall that it was attached to, breaks the table down below, and whatever components were there.
So beautiful.
So, moving on, our next topic, KOF 98 Ultimate Match announced for PS2, and we will have 40 billion characters in it.
Everybody you could ever...
Let's rehash a dream match and just throw even more fucking retreads into it.
I'm sure it'll be perfectly balanced.
Absolutely not.
Are you calling shenanigans, Kiken?
Unless it ends up being the next Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and the whole thing is balanced purely by accident.
Oh, Capcom wishes.
So...
I mean, I can understand why they want to remake 98 because it's like the biggest fan favorite. But it's kind of like how many more remakes of this year do you really need?
Well, how many more systems are coming out?
That's probably the best.
I mean, come on.
That's probably the best answer I've ever heard.
Well, I mean,
I heard that they're actually planning. they're planning something to release for PS2 in late 2008. I'm like, Jesus, fuck, you guys are behind on the clock there.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
although
the
we're
last
still going
kernel
to
they
be,
haven't picked up yet.
We're still going to be seeing some big-name PS2 releases in 2008. I was surprised. I mean, we just got the news that Yakuza 2 is going to come out on PS2.
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine for at least the first couple of months that, I mean, I saw the system going into 2008. This is not a surprise to me that they would still be releasing PS2 software into 2K8. But what's the point now, in fall of 2007, announcing we're going to release a game in late 2008? How much time does it take you to fucking finish the game?
Not only that, but it doesn't show a lot of confidence in the programmers to push on the PS3. They know it just hasn't sold as much as they expected. So either the programming is too hard, or it's just not. They're not confident they're going to make their money back on the newest system. So why not go with something that's got its huge installed base? Sony already admitted they're not going to do anything until 2010.
I'm just asking, why is it going to take them that long to release that piece of software?
Because isn't it, I mean, what's new in it?
Yeah, good question.
Well,
You got me?
it might have. Yeah, I got nothing. I don't know what it's
Does
going
it
to
have a nude patch?
A nude. Yeah, they're going to have a nude patch.
KOF 95 did have a handful of nude finishers, or at least the ones where you knock their clothes off. Most of them.
Yeah, unfortunately, the nude patch is going to be for Ryo Sakazaki, probably.
I could see if it was just the women, it'd be, maybe like the new babalities or at best, but yeah, I don't see the point either.
Well, moving on. Sorry for the change in audio quality here, but Skype has no quality, so you deal with it.
Ghetto.
We cause ourselves less self-injury this way.
And John will be happier.
John's sanity is less affected by doing it this way.
Yay.
But now you sound like you're in outer space.
So, what's it like on the space station?
Remember, before you say anything, go and right at the end, go.
So how is the outer space arcade, Kiken?
The connection is staying. We're not suddenly like dipping out every 5 minutes, so we'll take what we can get.
Yeah, we'll have to use more modern technology like phone. So
We'll just have to use the technology that works.
Yeah, so I guess that does rule out both the PS3 and the 360.
Take a shot.
Well, no, it just rules out the 360. The PS3, from what I've seen, is actually, astoundingly, Sony's most stable system. It just happens to cost the Earth.
Yeah, that's the price of stability, apparently.
And it weighs as much as the Earth. We might want to add that as well.
And honestly, I mean, astoundingly, and this is kind of sad that I'm giving Sony credit here, but the unit is also region-free.
Yeah, what the hell happened with this generation?
Is it actually region-free? Because I know Blu-ray has region
for
locking.
PS3 software, yes, it is completely region-free.
It's just like the PSP is.
Or at least Sony's managed to not implement the region locking. Because the hardware supports it, right?
No. There is none. They didn't bother with it.
Huh.
But the backwards compatibility is still region locked because it's still going on the, they build in a core basically from the PS2, and that hardware's still region locked.
At least they kind of did, though. They've been getting rid of those parts pretty quickly.
Right. Well, now it's software based, but obviously they're still doing coding in there that still checks for the region encoding. But the PS3 itself, the PS3 software is completely universal.
So it's only the Blu-ray discs themselves for movies that are region locked, not the software.
Right, but even then, the regions for that, it went down from technically 8 DVD regions to 3 Blu-ray regions.
Right.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that.
And we happen to be on the same region. NTSC UC and NTSC-J is the same region for Blu-ray.
Nice. Okay.
And
So
really,
you can import Japanese Blu-ray DVDs without issue.
Nice. Finally.
wow, that scat porn will look like it never has before.
In 1080p.
1080p. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate you all. Just thought I would add that in.
Just throw that out there.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Something new every day.
So next up,
Topics.
because we've talked about nothing for a while. It is that time again. We are going to talk about the games that we are most looking forward to toward the end of the year. And John, do you have any games that you're looking forward to? And you cannot say Teinohara Resort 2.
Yeah, I do have some games I'm looking forward to. It's just they're already out, and I just haven't bought them yet.
Well, that doesn't count.
Oh, T's still looking forward to them.
Yeah. And if it gives you a clue where I'm at, man, I'd really like to play God of War 2 and BioShock.
God of War 2 is what, like $15?
No, it's still 40 new.
Hasn't that hit like a best series?
Nope, they haven't released it for that yet.
Huh.
Yeah, I paid $39 for it last week. I did the 2-for-1 sale or buy two get one free at Toys R Us though, so I at least got a free game out of it.
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping there'll be some good Christmas sales to take advantage here for some of the good 360
I would imagine
software.
that by Christmas they drop it because they'd want to move as many as they could.
That'd
Yeah.
be nice.
Yeah.
Plus, they got the PSP God of War coming out in, was it February?
Right. Well, exactly. I mean, and that kind of like changed right into that. If you drop the prior version down, you then keep momentum up until the new version comes out.
And the new one's a side story, so it takes place partially. I think it's between 1 and 2.
No,
so
it's a prequel to God of War 1.
Oh, it's a prequel.
It's
okay.
his story before.
God of War 0.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So that kind of brings it full circle.
Well,
Very cool.
Glad
And
it's
that is looking pretty good.
glad it's a number 0 at the beginning.
I personally am looking forward to Crisis. I think that's going to be unbelievable. From what I've seen, I'm just so psyched. I'm building a whole
since
new...
you just upgraded your computer, you'll be able to
Well,
play it.
I actually sub-upgraded. I've got to do another upgrade and upgrade the Mobo again.
Is
and
that
get
even
a
going
better
to work
video
with
card.
the X9?
No, it's DX10 only. So I'm going to have to upgrade and bump to Vista. So I may be waiting till about January to do it.
Brian.
So there's not going to be a huge market share for this one.
Brian Vista, it's a trap.
Yeah, I know it. I may just build a secondary system for gaming only and just do that for Vista.
Yeah,
so
I wouldn't
don't
even
have to mess with
I
it.
wouldn't dual boot that shit.
Well, if you're going to be gaming in Vista, that's like the one thing that people say Vista doesn't do well. So as long as you're already going to have to do that, just go
My
with
only hope is that they're pushing Service Pack 2 by that point. I
For
gotta hope.
Vista? They haven't even done Service Pack 1.
Or I'm sorry, Service Pack 1 by that point, because there's so much calculated on, there's so much going towards Crisis, and a lot of that's, DX10 is kind of solely resting on it because it's one of the few things it's working well with, so I hope that by then it's actually worth it, so we'll see.
So, Kiken, any titles you're looking forward to?
Actually, there is, and I've already got a pre-order. Tsuchipai 4. It's hitting PS2 this fall. I think it comes out next month, October, end of October.
That's not long to wait.
Yeah.
Yep, right around the corner. More nudie mahjong, so I'm happy.
Now, Kiken, I know that Japanese mahjong is incredibly more complicated than it needs to be. With the Japanese mahjong, you have to have what's the difference between that and like normal human mahjong? Because isn't it like you have to get
do you mean the base between like the Japanese style of mahjong and the Chinese style of mahjong?
Yeah, don't you have to like get a reach or something before you can declare?
The primary difference with the Japanese one is you actually set all of your discards out in front of you in order.
Correct.
And I think you can't win with the tile you discard.
There's the system, which is the multipliers that you get from performing kan, which is where you get 4 of a kind.
Yeah.
And if you call that, you then flip over another bonus tile, and it's the next tile up in the series. So if you get like the Ipin, then the Yampin will be the bonus tile. And if you happen to have like the more of those you have in your hand, it's every like 2 or 3 it goes up a yan, which is like the hand value.
Okay. Yeah, I'm used to playing Chinese style myself, so I've the only one I've ever played was...
I've played a lot of video game mahjong. Since all of it is based on the Japanese style. That's how I've learned to play it.
I got used to that mostly.
If you watch the anime Akagi, that's all Japanese-style mahjong, and you'll actually learn a lot from watching that series if you're confused on like the rules for Japanese style.
It does seem like the Japanese are more consistent about it, too, than the Chinese. I haven't seen as many rules variations for them.
There are a lot of them, actually, but most of the way that, certainly when they're programming it, it's very consistent.
Okay, so there's kind of like a video game mahjong style that they keep to.
Yes. Most of them play very much alike. It's just how brutal the CPU is. That's the main thing that I've noticed. And that some of them, man, the first level becomes a fucking challenge and a half.
I did run through that mahjong title that they put out on the Neo Geo Pocket pretty well, and that was a lot of fun to play with. It was that famous series from the Saturn.
I think is what that one was.
Yeah, it was the one they ported over from the Saturn that was really popular. They'd had like 5 or 6 titles on the Saturn.
Yeah.
That was actually a lot of fun. It was pretty simplistic. It wasn't overly complicated, so that didn't take a lot of getting used to.
The reason why I like the Tsuchipai series is that it allows you to cheat. There's specific superpowers that you can get while you're playing, because you do, like after you win a hand, depending on the value, you're then given like this matching game where you've got to flip over cards and you've got to, it's like memory.
Right.
You've got to match 2 of them. And you can get different abilities, like if you inadvertently deal out a run, you have the fire second, which destroys your tile. And they can't call the win at that, but you can see their tiles. There's another called the Suchi Eye, which allows you to. In the Dreamcast one is kind of cool because it actually makes the tiles transparent, so you can see through their tiles. On the other ones, it just flips their hand down, so you can see what they have. There are like different multiplier bonuses that you can get as well. The whole thing is animated beautifully, and all the characters it's done is done by Kenichi Sonata. Bubblegum Crisis and Gunsmith Cats fame.
And Canon God Exacxion.
So, of course, you cannot do this in real mahjong. I'd like to reiterate, because if you try and cheat in
real mahjong,
you can cheat in real mahjong, yes.
We've seen that in many a good Chinese movie.
just
when the Yakuza are involved, but you can.
Yes. Have you done a lot of mahjong games with the Yakuza, Kiken? Is there something about your past you'd like to share with us?
Something weird happened on that trip to Japan?
While I was over in Japan I did try one of the Japanese mahjong cabs, which is a pain in the ass because they have it's like a fucking keyboard.
Yeah.
The file in your hand has a specific key. It's not like the home ports where you've got move joystick left to right, select your tile, hit button.
Yeah.
No, here, quickly, in 3 seconds, the fucking thing times you. In 3 seconds, select which tile out of your fucking hand you want to discard and keep, and you've got to find the goddamn thing on like A through M.
Yeah.
And hit that key to discard the goddamn tile, and then a specific key to hit for run, a specific key to hit for sumo, a specific key to hit for reach, all of its different keys.
So is it just supposed to keep the speed up?
Yeah, it's basically it's to keep you playing quickly and again to try to force money out of you faster.
Have you ever tried that controller for the MVS?
No, but I imagine it's the same exact thing.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
It's the same thing. It's just a controller with a shitload of keys on it that corresponds to basically every function in the game.
Yeah.
So at that point, you're like controlling a spreadsheet.
Might as well be.
Or might as well have just plugged a keyboard in.
Yeah. So any other games
pretty much.
other than a strip? Was it strip shooter that? A strip shooter. No.
After the final announcement after the Cave Matsuri, they have announced that Ketsui PS2 apparently will not go through.
Yeah.
But they've decided in the end that they are because Diehard's been back and forth on this whole thing. And it's kind of been annoying that, we get, initially they said, we're not going to do it. Then they said, then he comes forward and says, we were doing it. It was done, except we couldn't get level 5 to properly emulate.
Yeah.
And then he comes back and says, we consider redoing it if we removed the replay function that we were originally putting in, which kind of makes sense. That's a lot of memory for the system to keep track of, on top of the actual game. And then it comes back, no, there are just too many characters in the 5th stage to accurately reproduce the game.
Yeah. That's
and
too bad.
And in fact, they even asked him if they asked actually Ikeda-san if they were going to reprint the arcade board, and he said emphatically no.
That's too bad.
And the arcade board is like $1,200 right now.
Yeah, it's still hard to find.
Yeah, it's really expensive.
So, well,
but I'm kind of looking forward, like a part curiosity with the DS game. I've already heard reports that it's pretty much unplayable, but I'll pick it up anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, that's when you know you're a collector.
Yeah.
so
Well, my girlfriend was asking me, "Sir, you gonna borrow my DS to play it?" And I was like, "You know what? I'll borrow your DS for 5 minutes. Say this is unplayable, then hand your DS back to you."
okay.
Then shelve it, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I don't think I even know what the big holiday releases are going to be, though. I mean, everything's just been lost in the Halo 3 hype right now.
Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to Castlevania on the PSP.
GTA 4,
Castlevania on the
what hell
PSP.
Sony doesn't really have anything coming up till next year, do they?
No.
well, 5 versions of the PS3, if we're to believe what they say.
Yeah, they're still a little focused on their system problem.
Their system problem. It's called the PS3.
The only downside to that is I would almost buy a PS3 right now if it wasn't for the fact that the only games I want are virtual download games. It's really sad. I know down the road, in about a year from now, it's going to be worth it because you're going to have...
But
Well,
never
for
buy...
With the Xbox, to me, I mean, I looked at it and, they were like, "Well, what would you play?" I was like, "Well, I'd buy Uno."
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can buy Uno and get like 3 friends cheaper than an Xbox Live version, I think.
I've actually got twice as many Xbox Live arcade games as I've got regular 360 games.
It's because they cost $5.
Well, yeah, there's that too, but they're actually more fun to play in a lot of the cases, and they're a little bit more quicker to pick up and play and get with friends.
So John isn't really looking forward to much. Keegan's
I
looking
just
forward
don't know what's coming out.
I don't know.
Seriously.
I'm
There
psyched
really
to...
have not been too many announcements.
Yeah.
I think everybody's going to hold off until like late October.
Yeah.
Before we see what the
That's
Christmas
what it's
push is
looking
going to
like now, 'cause
be.
we really haven't seen too much information. I mean, even the stuff that's coming out in Japan is kind of really lackluster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually more excited this year than ever about PC games. There's about 5 RTSs I'm buying. There's a couple FPSs I'm getting. I just tried the Quake Wars demo, and that was just awesome. I got to try a World in Conflict, Universe at War, Company of Heroes, new expansion, Opposing Forces was actually a lot of fun. That's just got suddenly released today, even though it was dated for middle November.
Wow.
And Supreme Commander.
Which reminds me, speaking of PC, I still got to pick up Shigami no Shiro 3.
Yeah. That's really interesting.
And
I
you
tried the demo, and astoundingly, even on the piece of shit graphics card I have, in 480 by 640, it actually ran pretty well.
Huh.
and you've got 2 monitors, Brian, so you can tate one of them.
Well,
Tate
the one I have
both
hooked
of
up to
them.
the PC is actually a rotating monitor.
There you go.
So, as far as myself goes, that wasn't a very good sentence.
Bad segue. Bad.
Let's see. There's the
Castlevania on the PSP.
Well, I own Rondo of Blood already. I mean, I'll pick it up because
the Rondo collection,
yeah,
or the Drakex collection, I should say.
yeah. I mean, I'll pick up the Japanese one just so I don't have to hear the bad English voice acting.
Well, I was glad to hear though that they did put the German back in the intro for Rondo.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
And then there's a game on the PS3. It's like a cel-shaded strategy game by Sega. It's like Valkyrie something. I don't remember what it's called. It was on Majoria's, and I totally spaced the name of the title. I think it's Valkyrie something. I'll look it up while I'm talking. And then...
You do a great job of it.
well, I have it right here. It's Valkyrie of the Battlefield. Is the one I saw that was kind of interesting. And also No More Heroes. Looking forward to.
Because you bought a Wii now, didn't you?
Yes,
You
I
got
bought a
that.
Wii for under $200.
Yeah.
So now I can make Wii jokes. Well, it wasn't
Now you
really.
have your Wii Choke license kit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. I mean, there wasn't really much.
We just got to follow up on this on later podcasts once things are announced because it's
Because
too
we know
early.
there's going to be a Christmas push.
There's
I
definitely
mean,
going
we're
to be
on the
something.
second year of
Right
this.
now, I think what you're just seeing is like the termination of summer, and everybody's just kind of, well, here was the crap that we were putting out during the summer, and
And TGS just got over
we
with,
announced
too.
all our actual good games.
Yeah. We got to wait till everything dies off from TGS, and now that AMS is over with and E3 is over with, there's really not much.
Well, what
more
about
to push
E3 for all? That might be a big
disappointment?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't count that. That doesn't mean anything.
All right, moving on. So I'm going to talk very quickly about my very first foray into an MMORPG. I spent 15 days with WoW. And
Well, you picked a good time to get into the genre.
Yeah.
Are you meaning that facetiously?
So
Or?
you're like alone in the white room. Is this going to be like one of those insane asylum camera views from like the upper right that's going to like occasionally shake?
Yeah. It's going to be like something. I can't think of it.
I don't actually mean that facetiously. I mean, subscriber numbers alone tell you that WoW is the best massively multiplayer game ever made.
Yeah. Now, I have played an MMORPG before, although Phantasy Star Online
That was
doesn't
not
really
a massive-
count
yes.
if you're not online.
Well, it doesn't count even if you are. PSO was as massively multiplayer as Diablo was.
Yeah.
It was more like small group online.
Yeah.
It's more like a larger group than your normal friends.
So I got South Park Volume 10, and it just happened.
Did you get 1 through 9 as well?
Well, I've had them before. I mean, I didn't buy them all at
You were
once.
sufficiently prepared to purchase 10.
Well, yes.
And it came with a free subscription.
To WoW, and I installed it. And then it told me, well, I can't sign in because I need to install the other 3 gigs of World of Warcraft. So you have to install, you have to put
Which, as Steve mentioned, this is your own damn fault for not getting Burning Crusade.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't want to spend like...
You didn't spend $140? What?
Well, he didn't spend the 30 that it would take to get them, but that's okay.
Yeah, but why spend $30 on something that I may not like?
Because you wouldn't have to download 4 gigs of patches.
Well, I'd probably still have to download 4 gigs of patches. I mean... So...
Good God.
That's half the playing experience right there.
So, I...
So tell us the truth. Did you pick the female night elf?
Well, see, first of all, they had to prove that I was a male before I could do that. And then, no, I picked
They require a blood test.
Yeah, it's like Blade Runner.
It's not. Yeah, they were.
Were you a synthetic?
No, they did not do. They did not do a Voight-Kampff test to see if I was a replicant or not.
Well, you might have failed too. So. How long do you have left?
Let's see, 4-year lifespan.
I think he's talking about the subscription.
Oh, the subscription's over. She's talking about my incept date and everything. Stop! I've seen Blade Runner way too many times. Stop distracting me. Okay.
On a more positive note, they're finally releasing that on DVD. And
Yeah, the
full version.
perfect collection, which I've already pre-ordered. Anyway, so yes, I picked a female. Because in reading the FAQ, females and males have the same strength and everything, so the only difference is their appearance. So, and reason for picking a female is I don't want to stare at a guy's butt for 100 hours. So
It's because you don't like your gender.
He's gender sensitive.
So I spent 15 days playing it, and I will be very honest with you, I did not like it.
But you played it for 15 days? Are you retarded?
I couldn't get into it.
He was going to get his money's worth out of that, I'll tell you.
Well, I paid nothing for it. I played it for 15 days. Decided, there's...
15 days?
I didn't like it. I couldn't get into it. I figured 15 days is enough for me to decide whether I want to actually play this for a long period of time or not.
How many nails does it take pounded through your dick before you decide it's a bad idea?
Well,
I mean, wouldn't have
I wanted-
3 days been enough?
Well, here's the thing. I wanted to give it at least the benefit of the doubt. I wanted to play it for, the
That
whole...
was 12 nails, I believe.
No, listen. I wanted to play it. I wanted to play it enough so that, I was figuring, maybe I didn't get it right away. Maybe just play it a little more to see if it would be something I would get into. Well, never got it.
Didn't quite take on the first 14 days.
Yeah. So, I didn't like it at all.
Which we find totally understandable because, as we know, you don't like to play with others.
Well, not even that. I mean, when I was I figured, okay, well, this is Blizzard. Blizzard's usually pretty good about, single player experiences and being balanced and everything. And for the most part, if I played by myself without, any help whatsoever, I was able to defeat beasties and everything without too many issues, and I was able to hold my own. So it is completely doable that you can play the entire game by yourself.
You can't play the entire game by yourself.
Well, not
You might
entire.
be able to play your first 15 days.
Well, yeah.
But
And
also,
he did.
you also won't get to experience the fun bits, but,
He's also got the biggest nailed dick that you've ever seen.
Yeah, that'd be scary looking.
It's
That'll
not
scare
that,
away
but
all the other players that want to play with him.
it's just that when I played it, I'm like, well, okay, it's just like every other game I've played. I mean, I didn't see anything
I
special
really
with
think
it.
you missed it. I mean, I haven't played it myself, but from what I've seen of other people playing it, I really think the multiplayer is what it's all about. You
Well,
really get so much
I don't
more out
play
of it.
well with
That's
other.
the whole draw of the game, though. is the
Yeah,
whole-
that's
I mean,
exactly.
that's the whole fucking point of MMOs in the first place is the whole social aspect of them.
I get the feeling you're really not going to enjoy Spore either.
Well, well, here's the thing: I'm not going to buy Spore.
Well, good. There you go.
Well, here's the thing: it's EA. I don't buy
Nipped in the
software
bud,
from
well
EA. Huh? What was that, Kiken?
I said nipped in the bud. Well done.
Or nipped in the Spore. He killed that virus. Yeah.
Send all bad pun complaints to Brian, care of diehardgamerradio.com. So that was
Care of diehardgamerradio.org, or whenever you get a new URL.
In fact, just save those comments for
Well,
later.
Don't
Trash.
even send them to us, really.
it's
think evil.
it's diehardgamerradio.co.jp.
No, just go ahead and send it to diehardradio.com. We'll never see it.
Yeah. Just send it snail mail to Diehard Gamer Radio, care of.
Oh, give us a second. We'll put Murdock's home address on the air.
No.
And then we'll send you something back from his house so you can get the Murdock smell.
Your text messages, too.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think we could get away with charging $1 a message for those?
Yes.
Vote for your
Get one of
favorite
those weird
game.
555 numbers and show commercials on the Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Squeezing money out of little Johnny. You gotta love it.
I'm sure they pay lots of attention to that 18 or older.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
So next up,
Schedule it during Naruto, and I'm sure you'll get a shitload of calls.
yeah. So next up, we're reformatting the reviews, and we're going to do 1-minute reviews. You have 1 minute max to do a review, and I'm going to do Super Paper Mario in under a minute.
Okay.
Because
Okay, we got somebody to time him here.
Keegan's already starting on me. It's like, Murdock, your reviews are too fucking long. What's your problem?
We do have to be careful with the actual stopwatch, otherwise he will go over.
No, if I go under, do I win the car? Is this like Price is Right? You know what?
No, if you go under, we'll give you 5 bonus seconds for your next review.
Oh,
You get carryover seconds, okay?
Yeah.
sweet.
But those are old seconds, Mom. I don't want to use those.
Yeah, but if I go over, then I lose seconds for the next review?
Well, if you
Then
go
we'll
over,
be charging you double next time.
yeah.
Okay. The exchange rate really sucks.
Well, you're
Have you
betting
seen
on the
how
dollar.
bad the dollar is?
Yeah, you're banking on the wrong bank,
Come
buddy.
on, even Canada's beating us now. That's pretty fucking sad.
Canadians, ugh.
All right, are we ready for this?
No.
Go, do it.
Okay. Well, Super Paper Mario, side-scrolling platform game meets RPG meets everything.
Coloring book.
Coloring book meets origami project. But basically, a mixture of platforming elements, RPG elements, and actually pretty decent writing. Pretty funny writing and very decent role-playing game. Although, for someone as old as me, probably the kid factor not too interested in. But as far as a solid, decent RPG experience, it does real well. And the platforming elements, albeit very easy, do have a lot of depth to it. Games $49.99. I would say it's worth $39.99.
How does this compare to the older versions? Is it just
It's
a revamp?
It's
or
completely different.
totally
It's
new?
not straight RPG. It is a mix of platforming and RPG elements, but worth a purchase and does not use the nunchucks. Wiimote only.
Nice.
So this is the one that's on the Wii?
Yes, it is.
The one that got reamed in the reviews for being repetitive for the last half of the game?
You know, it's not as bad as that. It is repetitive, but it's not something that you don't want to play.
RPG ever made? My God.
Yeah.
So was that under a minute?
Sure. Oh, sold.
That's true. I can't think of an RPG that got to the last half where I wasn't playing just to find out what happened with the story.
You know, there was one thing I want to add to a little addendum. I did see a thing on a game coming out for the PS3 that was a download, to their network setup, their virtual download, called Echochrome. I don't know if anybody else has seen anything on that.
Yeah, it's that MC.
That's the weird MC Escher simulator.
Yeah, that
That's
actually
also
looked.
coming to the PSP.
Yeah, that looked highly neat. I was really excited about that just for its unique perspective. I'm thinking that's going to be a really interesting game and probably a sleeper until it comes out.
Well, we'll also see if they do enough levels to make it interesting or if you can blow through it in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming that the way they commercialized it looks like there's going to be like levels in the triple digits.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's so much shit you can do with just fucking around with perspective, so
Yeah.
I don't see how they couldn't get like at least 100 levels out of that.
Probably easiest programmed game ever, but it's
I
so
don't know about
unique.
that.
I mean, it looks so simplistic, but I think that's going to be a lot of the charm of it.
I'm glad they're coming out with a PSP version because, man, the PS3 hasn't sold me yet.
Yeah.
Well, you also need to find a place for it, which means you have to move a couch.
Well, hey, at least with the new PSP, you'll be able to play it on the television.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That's
true.
one exciting thing about the new slim PSPs.
I don't
So,
know. I haven't had any complaints about my
minus for the
PSP.
DS.
Yeah.
well, at least there's shooters on the PSP.
There's also fighters, but you can't play them because
R-Type Tactics came out.
Oh,
Yeah.
that did release.
Yes,
it's actually
in Japan.
That came out earlier this week.
I think it was
Yeah.
yesterday.
It was like 2 days.
Okay, earlier this week, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and hardest
I know NCSX had shown that, hey, we got it in.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I saw it too.
and according to what I've heard, hardest turn-based shmup ever.
Well, I think it's the only really turn-based shmup. I did remember reading in NCS's thing that even the Japanese were having a hard time figuring out how to start a battle. They could set all their ships up, but they didn't know when it actually started taking place or how to counter battle effects. Or
Like, okay, everybody start charging.
It's like
Charge shot.
yeah,
And
that's
release.
yeah.
and it's a turn-based strategy game. So I mean, you just reduce the people who'd be interested in it to like 5.
It's like watching space sperm charge the mighty egg of.
Well, the other thing in R-Type Tactics, friendly fire will kill all your other ships. So if you're charging your charge shot and one of your
Get them out of the way before you release that shit.
Yeah.
You know, like in the intro to R-Type final, get all your guys spaced out evenly. Then release your charge shot.
yeah. Oh, how horrid is that?
I don't know, but I would still buy it in a second if it came out here in the U.S.
Oh yeah, no doubt. It's just unique enough.
Probably will.
It'd
Yeah,
have to be such a bad import, though. I mean, without knowing Japanese, that has to be just useless.
well, there's
Even knowing Japanese, apparently it's hard. So,
Japanese language does not matter.
it doesn't.
no, it's the person that can
Game
actually.
is impossible with or without language understanding.
Yes.
So end result the same.
You blow up, and so does everybody else, you know.
So any thing you want to add for this very, very long podcast because you're looking tired?
I'll do my 1-minute review for the game that I just got in, or just got my replacement copy of because it's unique, although nobody will care. Just, get your hopes up beforehand.
Okay, so Power Shovel 2, tell us about it.
Ooh, oh man.
All right, a John favorite.
If Power Shovel 2 came out, there would be a whole fucking podcast about it. You might try and talk about other things, but it would be about Power Shovel 2.
And we would actually record it in a construction
Go
yard.
and Tokyo Bus driver as well.
What about new Shinkansen game?
Avoid the salarymen that leap on front of the track.
You know, I kept hoping something would happen when you were driving the train around. But even if you, like, throw the brakes onto emergency and everything, you just can't
so
make anything
lackluster.
bad happen.
Yeah.
It was kind of
Like, you
disappointing.
can't derail the fucking thing. What the hell?
Yeah.
So what's this game, John?
I picked up a copy of Your Self Fitness since I've spent most of this summer sitting on my ass.
Your what fitness?
Your Self Fitness.
What system is this on?
360.
Xbox, PS2.
And what
Was it
system?
yours 360?
Nope, the Xbox version.
Oh, you're right. Same green
Xbox
case.
One?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ah.
This is definitely a last generation title, and it is essentially an interactive exercise video.
So it's a porn
So, like,
film.
we fit.
It doesn't come with any special accessories, but yeah, and it tracks your weight, gets you go through a set of
Well, the Wii Fit
exercises.
board is about the same height, width, and depth as an Xbox controller. But go on.
Well, the interesting thing about this too was the people that do the motions in front of you that show you how to do it are kind of up there with looking through a scanner darkly. I mean, the way they're animated, they're realistically animated in a way, but it's cartoony at the same time. It's like cell shaded.
Almost rotoscoping.
Not really. I mean, it's a fairly accurate character. It definitely avoids the uncanny valley bit. Possibly because it takes all the trappings of an exercise video. So you got a woman there with a couple of mats and a setting, and it's like how much more than that you got to do. But
And just like a scanner darkly, it has a bunch of Philip Dick quotes. But go ahead.
it's only about $30, so this is equivalent to the cost of 2 exercise videos. It works with a variety of exercise
Billy
equipment.
Blanks video.
Hmm?
Or one Billy Blanks video, but go on.
Exactly. And it does do some useful things like yelling at you if you skip a scheduled exercise day, which is
So
the kind
it's
of
like-
motivation I really need.
So it's like a wife.
A little bit.
Okay.
It's a fascinating idea. If somebody who happened to both want an exercise video and owned an Xbox, which I think is probably a not entirely common combination, it's actually a good choice.
Isn't that kind of a paradox there?
Possibly.
Do those things actually go together?
It has a hilarious intro section at the beginning of the manual for people who have never used a game console before. Do not be
Do you
intimidated
like
by the
actually,
controller.
Picking up the Xbox and putting it down?
That might help.
Xbox weight training. That'd be pretty
man.
cool.
Put in a
Yeah, put an Xbox 360 in a room. There's your sauna right there.
And I do have to say, one of the other bonuses for it is I'm about as flexible as a rock. And trying to do crazy-ass yoga pose in front of a television, so much better than trying to do it in front of real people.
We have been filming that, right?
No, but that's why they gotta. That's why you need like the iToy or something, so people can watch you actually doing this shit.
You need
yelled at by some crazy Asian woman. You do that wrong! Oh, are you silly, American? You're too tall.
You need that tentacle the testicle camera from the Xbox 360. Was that one that takes pictures of testicles?
I think they all do that.
Okay.
Depending on where you put the
Everybody I
camera.
know just like sat like DVDs or like video games in front of that damn camera.
They just take some possession they're proud of and use that.
Yeah, that's like half the time when I was on Xbox Live, that's what people were doing. Like everybody we joined up with, they wouldn't actually film themselves. They'd turn it towards something on their desk.
Huh.
Wow, that was so useful. You bought
All
this
that extra
because?
bandwidth, this is what it's going to.
Cool. That means if I have all these female action figures, I can get in that Chinese MMORPG. Oh yeah, sure. I look like that. I look like Chun-Li. Yeah, sure.
I have to admit, if I got one of those, I'd actually be doing live action teabagging when I own somebody,
What kind of exercise program are you participating?
You're trying to get tossed off Xbox Live.
Yeah. I put up little word balloons above my head.
Well, you just need to take advantage of that Toys R Us discount program and pick up a bunch of 1 month Xbox Live Gold cards. Might be cycling through them pretty fast.
Just come on, keep them coming.
Show up with a new account, new word balloon. I'm back.
A Teabagger X8. What's going on here?
Son of Teabagger. The Teabagger returns. Curse of the Teabagger.
Yeah.
Oh, the pink Teabagger.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Now, aren't you glad you were part of this podcast, Kiken?
So glad, so glad.
Well, for at least part of it.
It's really hilarious when it's actually edited all together.
Yeah, it's going to be like a Frankenstein podcast.
You guys are going to be talking about shit, and I'm just going to disappear, spontaneously, then come back in 5 minutes later and say, "Fuck this, let's move on to question 5."
It's going to be like the
Best
traveling back and
podcast
forward in time.
Ever. Yeah.
So, Kiken, do you have any review for us?
Sadly, because I have not been playing anything new recently, no.
Okay. So,
If we do one when Suchi Pie 4 comes out, I'll happily review that for you guys.
cool. Also, a show note, Angry John called me before the podcast and has threatened to do a review of Blood Rain 2 for us.
Bring it.
I haven't done that yet.
Blood Rain 2, the movie.
He didn't even do
the
Blood Rain
movie.
1. What the fuck is he doing? Okay, you've got to review both of them back to back.
No.
No, you don't.
Two for one deal. You got to get both movies back to back. If he's only going to give us, the Wizard during episode 28 and freaking DOA way back in episode 8, then he's got to do at least 2 films this next time.
Oh, God. Straight to video.
Yeah, where Blood Rain 2 apparently fights and kills Billy the Kid.
Sweet.
I'm not making that up.
Oh, boy. History
Did you
sucks.
hear Uwe Boll's latest PR disaster? Where he was saying that he really liked the star he got for Postal because he's so real white trash.
Oh, God.
This coming from...
He's trying to do anything he can to get people to watch that movie.
Yeah, good or bad.
Anything.
Maybe he should start filming it first. That's a good start. Work his way
That
up.
whole thing that he did where he invited people, it was that whole nonsense when he was doing the promo for his boxing flick, whatever the fuck that was. Where
No, that's actually part of the Postal movie.
Oh, that's part of it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was under the impression that was a completely separate film.
Nope.
No, you
Okay.
get to see
I
Yui.
know that he brought them on set and had them in some scene as extras.
Well, because he brought them up, and the people who were eligible had to have published a critical review of one of his movies, and couldn't have.
That's who I'm thinking of. Who he beat the shit out of him in the ring.
Yeah, and couldn't have had any boxing experience. That was the 2 criteria for the people that
How
were.
fucking fair is that? The guy was like a champion, or semi-champion in his days, and now he's fighting people that have no clue. That's just, that's typical bull.
Definitely a publicity stunt.
Yeah. Of course, the people from Something Awful still have, T-bone steaks over their eyes because they're trying to make the swelling go down.
Well, that's what Lotax thought before he beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, I'm sure a video game adaptation of that will be coming out soon. Yui Bowl.
Based on the movie, based on a game.
Postal punching.
So, are we done?
We're done. It's a wrap.
Well, I want to thank Kiken for joining us for this technological marvel of podcasting.
Well, joining us for about 3/4 of it.
Tried all of our patience to the nth degree.
Welcome to the future.
And if we do this in the
Now
future,
I'll be deleting Skype from my computer.
yes, good plan. If we do this in the future, we'll get the right adapters off somebody's fucking cell phone.
Yeah.
Plug this thing in directly. Life will be reasonable.
It will be understandable.
Oh, man, if we had the iPhone, this would have been so much easier. Oh, wait.
Shut up.
Yeah, because if we had the
Run pretty
iPhone,
video while we're completely fucking around and doing shit back and forth.
with the iPhone, we would have been able to, watch some YouTube while we were doing this.
Yeah. Kiken, do you have anything to plug before we close up shop?
Personal
Not
website,
really, actually.
favorite pornographer.
Well, again, this is just one of those calm periods, and we really won't have anything until again a couple months from now. So.
Are you working on another video project?
Well, the Dreamcast the shooting will be coming at some point when I can actually sit down and just start recording footage from the 18 games that will be incorporated into the video, and it'll be a little bit longer than the Neo Geo shooting special. And I'm trying to sit down and again clear out any of the problems with the prior one. I've got a better quality microphone, at least for what we could hear during the first half hour. That quality is far better than what ended up in the video.
Yeah.
So that thing's at least good for something. And hopefully the video and audio quality on the actual game footage will be much cleaner, being recorded directly to DVD instead of to videotape and then captured from videotape.
Neo Geo shooting special, is that on YouTube?
I think somebody, I saw it on Google Video. I don't know if somebody posted it to YouTube, but I did see it on Google Video.
Okay. So if anyone's interested in watching it, go to Google Video, or we'll post the URL to the video.
Yeah.
It's on www.archive.org.
Yep.
Yeah. And the audio's not that horrible. I mean, it's only going to get better, but I mean, it's understandable. You can hear it.
Hey, we're going to do our own video projects for Diehard Gamer Radio.
Oh, no, we aren't.
Oh,
Well,
maybe we will.
Oh, no.
No, we're not going to film ourselves.
Oh, all right then.
What about
You may
filming
remain off camera.
teabag safely in the distance?
Oh, my God.
Damn, so it's just going to be one silhouette after another. Huh?
Yeah.
Someone want to do a flash...
Puppets. Just up in front of the screen.
Someone's going to do a flash animation on this. We need
If
vec...
that'll work, that'll be just like Yahtzee or negative edge, negative divide, whatever the fuck that thing is.
We lost you.
Yeah, you lost us.
The British guy living in Australia who reviews games.
Zero punctuation.
Zero punctuation. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
Who's doing it for the escapist?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is it for Die Hard Gamer Radio. Thank you, Kiken. We'll cut you off here, and I'll email you later and let you know how many hours upon hours upon hours upon hours of editing.
Of editing this takes to actually put together so it seems somewhat coherent.
Yeah. So.
All right, thank you very much for having me, guys.
Okay.
It
Thank
was
you.
really fun talking to you. Glad we could do this.
Thank you for listening to Die Hard Gamer Radio. You can visit our website at diehardgamerradio.com and iTunes, or you can email us at diehardgamerradio@gmail.com.